All right, and welcome back, guys. I know, I didn't live stream for 2 days. Why couldn't we do live streams for the last 2 days? Well, I've been busy, but I'm back in action. We are ready to go. Good to be streaming with you guys again today. And on this day, we are waiting for the executive order to include cryptocurrencies into 401ks being signed by the president today. Are we actually going to see this? Is this real news? Is this fake news? Is this a rumor? Well, everybody's talking about it, and I want to talk about it too. As we are seeing Ethereum make that move to the upside, things are cooking and looking pretty darn good right now. You gotta love it, guys. Smash the like button if you do. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy crypto content. I'm sorry I couldn't do these live streams the last 2 days, guys. I've been busy with work. It's good busy, but it is busy. And so that is that. But we are back. We are live, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But welcome, guys. Hello to the chat. Repost the stream. Let's get some more focals into the conversation. Absolutely fantastic to see you guys all hopping in the chat. John, my brother, good to see ya. How you doing? Okay, guys. So kicking it off, Bitcoin. Oh, came down actually a little. Let's refresh this. No, it's still doing just fine. Strong at $16,400. We like to see that. How's it going, Christina, in the chat saying hopefully it's real. Hopefully it is real. What we have seen is a lot of good news that right after that good news happens, we've seen these buy the rumor, sell the news events happen. So you do have to remain cautious of this, but check out this Ethereum rally. Yes, these red circles, we were talking about these potential lower levels for Ethereum, and I still think that they're there, but I only really need, honestly, I don't even need the red circles. We'll just keep the green trend line, and we'll move the trend line to kind of the true range that I'm looking at, which is somewhere in this range for potential moves for ETH. Yeah, that's still a conversation we can continue to have, but let's have the conversation that we want to have today, which is the conversation of, are we actually going to see Ethereum break through this blue trend line? Well, we found another level of resistance off of it. Just a wee bit ago, laddie. Just a wee bit ago, we saw a little bit of a bounce. Rejection, not the bounce you want. A rejection off of the $39-ish $100 level. But we really need to see ETH get through that level and then through the $4,000 level and shatter through this $5,000 high. We are seeing Dogecoin rally a little bit. PEPE is rallying a little bit. Coin having a really nice candle, turning quite green, almost up to 15 cents. Pretty cool. And Bitcoin's looking strong. Maybe wants to revisit and get rid. Let's just get rid of this. Whoa, a $5 super chat from Scossum, my friend. Boom. Too much. Too kind, baby. Whoa. Thank you, Scossum. $5 super chat from you, Scott. Appreciate that. Good to be back, friend. Huge crypto news and 401k news. This is how millennials and Gen Z secure retirement. I'm excited for crypto and specifically Bitcoin to be in retirement accounts. Ethereum too. But there will be many cryptos eventually in these retirement accounts. And who knows, maybe you'll be able to buy any meme coin you want in your retirement account if you want to do that. And I don't want to do that. Though there is a special place in my heart for memes, especially the big ones. And I got a video coming out later today on DOGE, PEPE, and SHIB, so I'm not going to talk too much about those today because I'm talking about those later today. Which coin do I like the best? Which coin has the most return? Check out the video later today. Subscribe to the channel. I'll talk a little bit about that. No, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I ever say on these channels, videos is financial advice, my friend. But shout out to Scossum. Thank you for that super chat. And to your point, this is huge news for crypto and 401ks. Let's talk about the headline he's talking. What the heck is Scossum talking about? What is this guy saying? He's saying this. Bitcoin, crypto stocks rally ahead of the president's executive order on 401ks. Pretty cool. President expected to sign executive order allowing alternative assets, aka cryptocurrency, into 401ks. Don't you like it, guys? Don't you love it? I do. I do. We also have some not tax news. We have some tariff news coming out. Chip stocks jump after the president says some chip makers are exempt from tariffs. That's pretty cool. Dow slides, stocks waivers, sweeping tariffs kick in. So you've got positive stories, negative stories about tariffs. Tariffs are still ongoing. Okay. Okay. Right now, Fed Chair Waller, from the Board of Governors as well, is right now emerging as the favorite candidate for potential Fed chair. Now, Fed Chair Waller has been urging and coming out publicly and saying, well, we should cut the rates. So the president right here is going to be picking the next Fed chair. Wonder who the president's going to pick. Well, we knew he wanted to pick somebody that's pro rate cuts, and Fed Chair Waller has been coming out saying he is all about rate cuts. Well, it's almost like Fed Chair Waller knew that Fed Chair Powell was going to be out of office soon and there was going to be a position open. It's almost as if Fed Chair Waller knew that if he talked enough about cutting rates, that the president, when it came time to appoint a Fed, would put him into the job. These are the really silly games that occur in politics and with this magical entity that is the Fed. How stupid is this whole system? Now, the good news is that Bitcoin is the off-ramp to this system. And what's really cool is the off-ramp is getting plugged right in to your 401k. So in your 401k now, you can go crypto if you wanted to. Pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. So you got to like that. But this is very big news about these 401ks. You got to like it. A couple other stories. Everybody's talking about it. President to allow 401k plans, crypto into 401k plans. Let's actually see the executive order signed. What if this is not real? What if this doesn't happen? What if it's not included? It could be a big disappointment to the market. If it's not included in this executive order for one reason or another, then what you might see is a little bit of a rejection and maybe this double top. And I'm not calling for the end of the bull market quite yet. It does play out for Bitcoin. Maybe this rejection happens for Ethereum right here and we don't get through $4,000 yet. Maybe we do revisit to somewhere in this range for ETH. Maybe we don't. Maybe the executive order does include 401ks and we blast off. Maybe it does include crypto into 401ks in this executive order, but it's a buy the rumor, sell the news event because, well, why would you say that, Crypto Kid? Why can't you just be bullish all the time, brother? Well, I don't want to be bullish. I mean, I would love to be bullish all the time, but I also want to talk about the true realistic picture. And the realistic picture is that we are fighting history here. Historically, August, not the best months for crypto. Sometimes we got some good months. There's a 13% gain. There's a 65% gain. September also historically quite bearish. Last September was bullish, 7% gains, but that was the best month we've ever had in crypto. That was the best September we've ever had in crypto. So, gravity defying moves would mean green August, green September. But this story could be the thing that helps crypto defy gravity of the historical moves for this crypto market. But you just got to keep an eye on kind of all those things at the same time. And that's why we keep these updates coming every single day. But yes, everybody's talking about this. The president's executive order also has other things in it. Banking discrimination against crypto. That's a pretty big deal. Religion and politics, which is interesting. Not going to get into that. But we'll focus on the crypto piece. We do know that the crypto entities were getting debanked by major banks. That comes to an end with this executive order. I'm quite certain that will be in the executive order. I am personally still skeptical of the 401k piece because it's such good news that, let's actually see it play out before I celebrate it, right? That's generally how I try to approach these markets. And I do know that there are buy the rumor, sell the news events, but there is a good chance that if this executive order happens, boom, big rally, Ethereum breakout, altcoin season could be coming sooner rather than later. But with that being said, okay, here's another thing to consider. It's very bullish. Mike Novogratz, big fellow in the crypto space, the CEO of Galaxy Digital, big crypto firm. This guy loves crypto. Oh, he loves crypto. Comes out on CNBC. It says there's a monster pool of capital that will get exposure to Bitcoin and crypto with this executive order coming up. And tons of money will be pouring in. But if you listen to the first 6 seconds of this, what he says is, and I know you couldn't hear it, it says, you know, a bull market, enjoy it while it lasts. It never does. That's what he says in this very same interview where he says a monster pool of capital will get exposure to Bitcoin and crypto with the executive or tons of money pouring in. But he also says, haha, bull market, enjoy it while it lasts. It never does. And he laughs. So this man who is seemingly all in on crypto and is excited for the 401k news and a bull market that we're currently in and could get that last extension, big move to the upside. Even this man, whose whole business is around crypto, admits that there is going to be an end to this bull market. When might that be? All I've got to go off of personally, my friends, is that same boring spiel that I've got for you. Bull markets last 1,070 days. Look at the historical time frame. From this low to this high is 1,070 days. From this low to this high is 1,070 days. From this low to a potential high, let's just call it 1,070 days. Where does that bring us to? October of 2025. Fed rate cuts coming. August didn't happen. September could be happening. Actually, should I say July? The rate cut didn't happen. September should be happening. Why? Jobs data. Regardless of that, Fed Chair Waller, who is probably going to get appointed to the next head of the Fed, that guy's going to cut rates. Maybe, and I'll say just maybe, we get a little bit of an extension of this bull market into those Fed rate cuts in 2026 with the new appointed Fed, if Fed Chair Powell doesn't cut them, though the odds say that he will. Those Fed rate cuts are going to be our bullish catalyst, but eventually there will be some profit taking in the crypto space. That's my belief. That's Mike Novogratz' belief as well. In the meantime, let's continue to root for Ethereum to break through these levels and get that last move that we're all waiting for and hoping for. And yes, hopefully the markets just keep rallying forever. But if you think it's up only, I think lose only. If you think up only, I think lose only. Okay? I mean, that's just the reality of the way that these crypto markets play out, guys. XRP is holding on to the $3 price level. I do have some XRP news to share with you guys today. Let's talk a little bit about it. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bells, my friends. Leave a comment. I'll do a little Q&A at the end of this thing and repost the stream. Let's get some more folks in here. By the way, if you guys want to do some trading, check out the affiliates in the description of this video down below. Blowfin, BitTineX, two exchanges that we personally like to use, me and my partner on the channel, Blacksea. There are sign-up bonuses there for you if you want to check it out. You can do demo trading, you can do copy trading, you can do futures trading, spot trading. I like to do a lot of trading there if you guys want to check it out. Continue to do your own research, but check out the affiliates if you want to sign up for those platforms and start taking advantage of the volatility of these crypto markets. On the SEC XRP front, we do have some news. XRP pushes back through $3. Good to see. That's a key level we need to hold as the Ripple SEC appeal decision looms. The move broke through multiple short-term resistance levels and coincided with high volume, blah, blah, blah. The US SEC is set to deliberate on Ripple's appeal withdrawal, potentially impacting XRP's regulatory status. The SEC is expected to deliberate this decision at 3 UTC on August 7th. That's today. In XRP's non-security status under U.S. law, an outcome that removes a long-standing regulatory overhang. Meanwhile, the ETF application for XRP is gaining momentum from corporates reportedly pledging up to $1 billion in XRP purchases. That is a lot of money that's waiting to flow in XRP, but you need to get the positive outcome from this SEC decision, and we need the actual case to just go bye-bye. We need the actual SEC case to go bye-bye, and it hasn't yet, but this is good news. Very interesting news as well that's actually brand new to me. Shocking news. I didn't realize this. How could I not realize this? I don't know. I feel stupid for not knowing this was coming. What a $20 billion Ripple IPO could mean for XRP holders. Let's talk a little bit about this story, which is breaking news to me. I didn't realize that Ripple was going to do an IPO. Now, that makes sense. It's common sense, of course. They're a company. Why wouldn't they do an IPO? They're a U.S. company. They're U.S. based. They're going through the courts. Once the court thing gets resolved, which ain't done yet, then I think an IPO could be in their future. But again, with legal clarity now in near sight, which we've been saying for years, It has fueled hopes Ripple may soon debut on public markets in 2025. It's possible, guys. And if there's a year for it to happen, it could be this year. And if there's good market timing for it to happen, it is at the end of this bull market, which we are nearing. That altcoin blast off could be huge for XRP, but this is a Ripple IPO, okay? This is a Ripple IPO. Think about this, guys. Well, the Ripple IPO remains elusive. Market watchers are gaming out what a $20 billion valuation might mean for XRP and the broader crypto equities. Okay. I wanted to see, there was, in this article, what they did mention is that there is a big difference between XRP, the token, and the Ripple IPO. Those are two different things. Okay. But then it kind of leads me down the road of questioning, okay, if the Ripple IPO comes out, should XRP holders be more excited about XRP, or should they be more excited about the Ripple IPO, the stock that comes out for Ripple? Or are Ripple holders, XRP holders, going to get some Ripple stock? That would be crazy and cool, bullish if they did. I doubt it. Are they going to be acting as competition for each other? They could be. If they're acting as competition for each other, which one's the better investment? And that one we'll leave that one off on a big question mark. I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer, but there's conversation about $20 billion IPO launch. Everybody's excited coming off the excitement of the Circle IPO. Went from $31 to, they say, $134 per share. Yeah, it was an incredible rally. If Ripple pulls off his IPO, it could open the floodgates. Wait, don't want to do that. With the unique XRP stock link. Very interesting. Very, very interesting, guys. Everybody's saying that price expression of XRP is coming to an end. Yeah, we need that legal clarity. We're not done with the legal clarity yet. Very interesting conversation. I don't have all the answers, but I want to share the news with you and speculate on it with you. I do believe that Ripple and XRP, like Ripple the company and XRP the token, could compete with each other. I don't know if they're going to be tied together. We'll see. We'll see. Sergio says, as soon as he signed executive order, the market will dump. There's a chance of that. That's called a buy the rumor, sell the news event. On top of that, August is historically bearish. September is historically bearish. And so we're fighting against that. So in the meantime, if you don't think it's pumping through yet, find your levels of support and resistance, do your own research. And if you want to trade, check out Blowfin, check out BitConnect, try some trading. If you want to do that, some deposit bonuses when you do sign up using our links in the description down below. Now, we have had some volatility on some of the and fear going on because of the tariffs, right? Some fear, some questions because of tariffs. And the tariffs have impacted some of these companies in the S&P 500. But 82% of all the companies in the S&P 500 beat their quarterly earnings estimates despite these fearful tariffs. So are we actually in good shape in the economy? Well, not quite. I mean, the jobs data is not so good. That's why we think the Fed's going to cut rates. There's a lot of things going into all of this. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving pieces. To stay in the know, subscribe to the channel, turn on a notification bell. We're going to keep the content coming to you guys. But 82% of the S&P 500 companies beat their quarterly earnings. That's very good. That is bullish for the S&P 500 and the stock market. So are Fed rate cuts. That's coming up. There are bullish catalysts ahead for the stock market and for crypto with the executive order for 401ks. You got to love the news that you're hearing, folks. But you also got to stay on your toes and skeptical. Buy the rumor, sell the news events. Historical price action for crypto. Noting as well, again, there is a time limit to this bull market and a final buzzer. I don't know when it's going to be, but historically, October would be when that final buzzer comes. Sometime October, maybe November. And again, like I said, maybe we do rally into 2026, but I ain't ready to talk about that yet. Legacy Legend's been in the chat is asking, hey, are you eligible for the Cardano midnight airdrop? Seems hard to get it. I don't know. I haven't looked into that at all. I should check it out. I might be. I dabble with some Cardano transactions at one point a while ago. I should try to figure that out. That's a good question. But remember this, regardless of this bull market or the volatility day to day, day in, day out, and time again, and what other words can I say? With crypto and Bitcoin, Michael Saylor said recently, and it's a great point, if America buys Bitcoin, its allies and enemies will have to buy it back at 10 million, 20 million, and 50 million a coin. This is the modern digital gold rush. We still don't have news that the US is actually officially going to be buying these cryptocurrencies, but the 401k news is certainly a good start. If that 401k news is fake, might get a sell-off. Even if it's real, you might get a sell-off. But what we'd really hope for is the pump. What we really want is the pump. We really want the pump. We do. We want the pump. Okay. What else is going on in the chat? Focals, pokals. Let's look at some charts. Let's look at ETH to kick it off, huh? It's basically like a perfect rejection for ETH. Honestly, in my mind, I'm thinking about shorting this right now. The hype leading up to the executive order, resistance there, kind of leads to a potential bull trap. And remember all the bull traps we've had, by the way. Think about this. A lot of bull traps out there. There are people trying to liquidate the longs. Remember this day? Yeah, $900 million worth of longs liquidated just on July 31st. That's not too long ago. A lot of longs have been getting wiped out. Shorts got hurt a little bit today around this hype for an executive order. Guys, I'm bullish. I want to remind you I am bullish, but I like to try to keep my head on straight when I'm looking at these markets, I'll tell you. Sugar Plum in the chat says, I've been buying $20 of Bitcoin every Friday for the last few years. That is a legendary move, and I love that. That's one of the best Bitcoin strategies, in my personal opinion. And again, I'm not a financial advisor, but man, I commend you for that. That is really cool. It's a good way to do it. Robinhood decided to list Ondo. Wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't hear about that. Let's do a little bit of a Q&A, guys. What else is going on in the chat? How's everybody doing? What are you doing? I'll bump the tunes up a little bit. Sugar Plum, I'm just curious. In the chat, would you be willing to share how much Bitcoin you've been able to accumulate roughly over the last few years, buying $20 of Bitcoin every Friday? Because I think that number is going to shock some people of how effective that is, and I love it. Daniel in the chat says, I want to sell my alts. You're not the only one. There's a lot of people that want to take profit on those alts, which is why the bull market won't last forever. Even if we do get that massive rally for altcoins, which I think is coming, that rally ain't going to last forever, folks. Yeah, so some other stories going on. President's calling for the CEO to resign immediately. I don't know why. Let's look at that. It's interesting. Because he's conflicted and must resign. Too many associations with China. Interesting. Very interesting. Andrew in the chat, how's it going? I mean, Legacy, yeah, I love that $20 or $20 a day would even be incredible. $20 a week, $20 a day. Not too shabby. How's it going? No exchange in the chat. What's up? What's up? What's up? I did not DM you, Simon. No, be careful, guys. I will not DM you. I love you, but I won't DM you. I'm too busy for that. I will never DM you. And if I ever did, it would just be friendly. And we'd have to like really know each other. But I did not DM you. Be careful out there. You've been around a long time. I feel like we know each other, Simon, but I did not DM you, brother. Glad you had the feeling. Blacksea will never DM you either. We won't do it. Those are all scammers, okay? If we do DM you, I would be like, hey, I'm gonna DM you. That's what I'd say. But I'm not. Unless I say I will, but I'm not. I'm too busy. Don't have time. Hearts. Yes. Noob Gamer asked for a VeChain price prediction. Good question. Let's look at VeChain. Appreciate that. Appreciate that question. Thank you, Noob Gamer. Are you really a noob gamer or are you an experienced gamer? That's my question for you. I've got a return question. Went to 23 cents in the last cycle. Gosh, that was such a good time. Well, look, here's the deal. You're a noob. That's awesome. Me too, brother. I used to play a lot of World of Warcraft and RuneScape back in the day. Call of Duty, classics. Now I like Mobile Legends a lot. It's going to be hard for VeChain to take new highs. I could see it double topping at best. I'm sorry. It's not the most bullish thing you wanted to hear, but a 10x is the answer. That's my bull case. I'm just concerned for a lot of altcoins that are running out of time. I understand the utility of VeChain and the promise of VeChain, and I like VeChain. It's a UFC sponsor. I like the UFC. But a lot of altcoins are going to be underperforming in this cycle. And this one's been underperforming in general. It's going to be tough. I'm bullish on it, but like this cycle, altcoins just got rocked. Now I could be wrong. I hope I am. I hope it gets going, but it's not really been one that I've seen a lot of people chit-chatting about. It doesn't have the hype that it used to have. Last cycle, it was all the rage. But like Ondo is the new VeChain. Does that make sense? I mean, those plays, you know, pumped up, fun might get a rally. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, trendy is important. And VeChain was trendy last cycle. But now what's trendy is the ISO 2022 compliant coins, the major chains, the Cardanos, and maybe Avalanche is still trendy. I don't really know. Sui certainly hot. I thought Stacks was hot. I could be wrong on Stacks. Really disappointed with what Stacks is doing. Am I 212? I don't know what that means. Am I 212? Sugar Pump says, we're kind of skeptical about crypto at first, but not anymore. Wish I would have bought more. That's, you know, usually how it goes. People always kind of wish they would have bought more. Thoughts on CRO? Bullish on CRO. Still believe the dollar. Still believe the dollar. Harder to get above $1 these days because of the price action that we've seen. As the timer runs out, CRO above $1 in this cycle is getting more difficult to achieve. I think it's possible. I believe it. I'm optimistic about it. But above $2, it's getting very less likely by the day. My 212. I don't know that. I don't know what that is, Simon. I'm sorry. It's a good question. I'll have to check it out. Is that a meme on Kronos? I want Kronos to succeed. I like that community. I love that community. I love the coin CRO. We need to get the true altcoin season. We need DeFi to pop off. We're waiting on it. What is it? I got all my bank in VeChain. I got 1 million coins trying to buy a house. Are you up or down on that, Noob Gamer? Cesar in the chat. How's it going? Cesar Solomon says if Kronos gets to $1, I can put down the money for a mortgage. There's a lot of people waiting for that. So be aware that there will be a lot of profit taking at $1, in my mind. That's my opinion. Everyone is waiting for an altcoin season. Yes, that's true. I love the Q&A version of these. You're down 8K. What's your bag? Would you tell me? You don't have to if you're not comfortable, but I'm curious. Well, you said you got 1 million. I could do the math. You got like 23K in there? Is that right? Is that good math? I think that's right. Yep. Hey, Coin Baron, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Hope your shoulder's doing good. I know you've been working on that. I still have hope for a V-Chain pump, you know, but I do think it's going to be underwhelming as to the expectations that people might have for it. This is not a bull market where you want to be left holding the bag, guys. Well, no bull market is a bull market where you want to be left holding the bag. Because if V-Chain does go, if we go into a bull market, believe it or not, V-Chain can come down maybe even 90% from here. It's possible. It's possible. I think that's maybe a little aggressive, but 50% easily, and then just sit there. I wouldn't want to see that for you, though. Again, my horizon is October and November of 2025. I would love us to go into some extended cycle, but stay vigilant. Protect your capital, folks. You know, a lot of money is relative to people, but I don't care. Even if you have 10 million bucks or whatever, 23 grand is a lot of money. You know, so stay smart, stay vigilant, stay in the know. Do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give you financial advice. I like to look for opportunities to take some profit. And if we get those rallies for altcoins, we have to carpe diem. We got to seize the day. Because somebody will seize the day. It better be you. Impossible to call the top. Historically, it's a 1,071 day thing. That timer is running out. The big move should be coming. If Ethereum can break through this level, it could be great. But we got to see it. Fed rate cuts are coming. Coin Baron says, what's your favorite Lamborghini for this cycle, Kip? I'm looking at about 12 of them. Probably just a remote control Lamborghini for my daughter. Yeah, that'd be great. Nah, man, I got a Honda and a Toyota, and I love them. I don't live in a good climate for those kind of cars. Hey, we got CZ in the chat. I haven't seen CZ in a while. Remote controlled are the best. More affordable, too. I don't know. I like Lambos as a joke, but that's about it. I'm not like a Rolex or Lambo guy, and to each his own. But I'm like, I want to go golfing and be with my family and eat some good food. And that's life. I want to work hard, work good, retire early, on a good path, you know. Eat good, live good, be healthy. That's it. And that's the trap of crypto sometimes, folks. And it's good. That's good conversation you just sparked for me, Coin Baron. And I know you were joking about the Lambo. I know you. You're a really good guy. You're good people. But like, the trap of crypto is that everybody thinks they need, you know, everybody's trying to make $2 million, right? So they can retire, or 10 or 20 million because you think you can do it, and you might be able to, but it's really, really hard. But it's doable. But you don't need $2 million, guys. You just need to win consistently. And eventually you'll have $2 million. But if you're waiting for $2 million and you get to 900,000, but you don't take profit, and then that goes down to 200K or 100 or lower, that's going to put you in a bad spot. And a lot of people get put into that spot. And you shouldn't do that. Do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor, but I hope you hear what I'm saying from my personal perspective and what I have heard from other people, seen in this space, personally done myself in other cycles. That's why we started this channel, so people could learn from our mistakes that we made in the past, and we learned the hard way and just got better and better with each cycle. But part of that lesson is learning to shuffle the wins and claim the victory. Cars do probably hold better value than crypto and the bear. Absolutely, they do, for sure. That's funny. Lifestyle inflation is a big problem. You're right. You're right. Stepping in real quick. Hey, Johnny Sevenfold, what's up? What's up, dude? How you? What's up, dude? What's up, dude? Bear market will bring 90% drops. Absolutely. Agreed. I think everyone will eventually learn the crypto the hard way, build from that each cycle. 100%, Artie. Good to see everybody in the chat. What's up, guys? All right, guys. This has been a nice 40-minute stream. I got some more work to do, but I'm so glad that we got to go live today. Good to see you, Coin Baron, Marty, Johnny in the chat. We had CZ in here as well. A lot of Fogels showed up today. Good to see you guys. Blake in the chat. Blake said, when I'm doing it, I think the peak of the bull market will be the same thing, October, November. That's my timeline. That's what I'm sticking to for now. And opinions can change, but that's where I'm at. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice ever. I like to trade. You guys want to trade as well? Well, then you can check out the affiliates in the description down below. Sign up for Blowfin, Bit2Next. It is one way to support the channel, and it's a couple exchanges that we like to use. So if you're going to be trading, you can support us by trading on those platforms through our link. If you want to do it, continue to do your own diligence, guys. Cryptos are risky. They can be very rewarding, very fruitful. I like to trade because I get impatient waiting for the bull market, waiting for the altcoin season. So if you want to check out the links in the description down below, check them out. Smash a like. Thanks, Johnny. DCA hodl, my friends. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, y'all. See you, Coin Baron. Later, guys. How's it going, Jay? See you, brother.